Ryan Illman, Mike Beer, moving right along. It's Breeders' Cup Prep Saturday at beautiful Keeneland. Race number 7 could be a prep for the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. Let's throw up the field for the Thoroughbred Club of America. It's a grade 2. It's worth $350,000. We have a field of 7 in this race, and Wicked Halo, Mike, was third in last year's Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, hoping to rebound. She didn't fire her best shot last time out when beaten by Ugiri at odds on.
I mean, I guess she's the key to the race, right, Dan? She's got plenty of efforts prior to that last one that would, really make her a handful in this race. I don't know what her excuse could have been for the open mind in the most recent start there, but she did not come close to running her best race. I suspect she'll run better here, and she better.
Let's throw up that Timeform US pace projector for this 6-furlong event. Fire on Time was the pace setter in the open mind. She ended up finishing second. I can certainly see her on the lead. Happy Soul has shown plenty of speed in the past. The runner-up in last year's Thoroughbred Club of America is getting blinkers. Ujiri, great outside post position, great stalking gear, should get a good trip.
Yeah, Ujiri is going to be up close, but she does not need the lead to be effective. So I don't think they're going to be gunning for it. Maybe she'll wind up there regardless. Maybe Happy Soul, the 5, maybe that horse is the key to this whole pace. They haven't been really running her on dirt this year, but she was pretty fast earlier in her career on this surface.
If the pace is very fast, keep an eye on the number 7, Be Like Water, 30-1 on the morning line, but has the LP flag over her chiclet, which indicates she has the fastest late pace figure from Timeform US. Let's kick things off with Wicked Halo. We know on her best day, she's certainly good enough to win this race. The question is, what happened last time? She was just flat, and that's really not Wicked Halo, a filly that usually shows up, Mike.
Yeah, it's very concerning. It has to be very concerning for a filly who's going to be the morning line favorite in this kind of race, Dan, because you're right. I mean, she has several races on the go back that would just make her the clear horse to beat in this spot, but she was bad last time, and I'm not sure what the excuse could be. And it's not like, let's be honest, I mean, it's not like she was putting together some kind of stellar campaign prior to that. She had a couple of wins, but I don't know. I think she's the horse to beat in here, Dan. I wouldn't take too short a price on her.
The number 2, Fire on Time's a reform claimer. Dale Romans has done a very good job with her, and it looks like she's reaching peak form. This will be her second start off of a short layoff, and she does have the speed to make the lead, as she did last time out. The problem is Ujiri ran right by her. Maybe she needed one off the short break.
It's 2 races in a row now where she's just been no match for Ujiri, who she's going to have to hook up with again in this race. And that last one, to me, is really the one that makes it kind of hard to like Fire on Time in this race, Dan, because she got control of that pace. She was clear through the stretch, and she just got flat overpowered by Ujiri in the late stages.
The turf to dirt angles worked very well for the number 3 Last Leaf in the past, and she's going to try that again for Eddie Keneally if she goes here. She's also cross-entered in the Princess Rooney down at Gulfstream Park. What I like about her is her tactical speed and her consistency, and she's run a few fast races in the past as well. If some of these horses stub their toes just a little bit, Last Leaf might catch them napping.
That's very fair way to look at her, Dan. She's not in over her head in this race. She's probably going to need, maybe 1 or 2 of these horses to either have some trouble or not show up with their best performance. But Last Leaf tends to show up every single time. The turf to dirt move has been effective for her. She's supposed to get a good trip in this race. She's not that hard to make a case for.
Speaking of a filly that loves the turf to dirt angle, how about the 4 Static Fire? 2 for 2 going turf to dirt in her career, including this race, her most recent start on dirt all the way last fall at Keeneland. This is a second level allowance. She showed good tactical speed to get up close to the pace, and she's going to work for a brief moment here to try to get to this horse. And once she does, she eventually goes past. She had a race last time out on turf at Kentucky Downs, which I think was an excellent fitness builder. Her first start off a long layoff, and she showed good speed. She's not out of this because she's relatively unexposed.
Yeah, still pretty lightly raced. All the things that you said about her are true, Dan. I wish that replay that we just watched right there, I wish I liked that performance a little bit more from her. I just didn't think that was a particularly strong effort there. She's tracking 1,000,000 to 1 shot on the lead, and you could see there in the replay, I mean, she worked really hard just to get by that horse, and nobody else did any running behind her.
Happy Soul is the number 5. She was a very precocious 2-year-old. What else is new from the Wesley Ward barn? And then she did some good things on dirt. Second in this race last year. She has been campaigning, as Mike mentioned, on turf recently, and she just hasn't shown that sort of blazing speed that she had earlier in her career. Maybe the blinkers on is a sign that Wesley wants to get her forward and into the bit. She's been showing some fast workouts, presumably with the blinkers.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to make of her, Dan. With them sort of concentrating on turf with her for the past, year or so, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I guess she's run fine on the grass, but it doesn't seem like she's better on turf than she was on dirt earlier in her career. I mean, listen, maybe there's a reason they're running her on turf, and that's all you really need to know. But I'm not. I think it's a good idea to run her back on dirt in this kind of a race, especially if she can show speed.
Although the 6 Ujiri was well beaten at Keeneland in the Grade 1 Madison earlier this year, she was part of a very hot pace in a race that featured the reigning Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint winner Goodnight Olive. Since then, she's run twice on dirt. She's looked good in both of those races. And I think most importantly last time, Mike, was the ability to sit and finish, something that she probably wasn't doing earlier in her career. She was just too fast for some of her opponents. I think the experience of rating helps her in this spot.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point, Dan, because she'd never shown, maybe she just didn't have to, but she had never shown that she would just sit comfortably off of other horses. And that's exactly what she did last time, right in behind Fire on Time on the lead in there. She was very comfortable. Once she came clear in the stretch, she won that race super easily. I like her overall form. I think she's a huge contender in this race.
Be Like Water, the number 7, is going to complete this field. She has the fastest late pace rating from Timeform US. She's really going to hope for a bit of a barbecue up front because her buyer speed figures pale in comparison with those of the top contenders.
Yeah, listen, there aren't a ton of, closing types in this race. So maybe she is the best closer in the field if that floats your boat. I didn't think she was good enough to win.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Thoroughbred Club of America. We're both going with Ujiri. I think she's for real with this stalking gear, and there's a chance this pace could get pretty heated with the 4 and the 5 going out there. It'll be interesting to see what Wicked Halo does from that inside post. I think they got to hustle out of there to try to stay at least within range.
I think they do too. I'm just going to take Ujiri just because I like her overall form and her recent form in particular better. I get it. If Wicked Halo rebounds here and runs a good race, she probably wins. I'll take a shot against her.
We'll both go 6-5 in the Thoroughbred Club of America. We'll see if Wicked Halo gets back into form. We'll see if Ujiri is sort of the up-and-coming new face in this division. Good luck.